Hello, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend wherever you are in the world. I hope that your trading was successful last week. It was very exciting, a lot of big moves, a lot of volatility with the first half of the year ending, the end of the month. So a lot of movement both directions. Gold dropped down below its very strong psychological number of 1900, but then came back and closed above that. So we will look at that shortly. But if you think last week was exciting, just fasten your seatbelts because this next week is going to be amazing. So let's go ahead and get started. Have a look at the charts and see what's coming up. Hey everyone, this is Rick Ray from rickrayfx.com/profile. That's my website you see on the screen there, where you can go to find out more about Forex trading. So as usual, we are starting our weekly analysis, and this is the beginning of the second half of the year. So we're starting off with the 3rd of July, 2023. And of course, as usual, we will look at the fundamental high impact news, and I do mean high impact. This week is going to be amazing. We'll have a look at the items that are coming out this week, and then for sure, I will review the profit and loss that we had from the trades which I shared with you last week. And then of course, I will share my new trade setups that I have, my pending orders that are in place and ready for this upcoming week. So the high impact news, and I mean it is high impact, and I mean it. Fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be absolutely amazing. So here we are at forexfactory.com, a screenshot. Okay, and as I always tell you, these are the Asian times. So if you live outside of Asia, be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local time zones. On Monday, we have the CPI month on month for the Swiss franc, and then we have some news on the U.S. economy, the ISM manufacturing PMI. On Tuesday, we have the Australian Central Bank will release the interest rate, and they are projected to not raise the interest rate. So let's see if that's going to actually be the case. And then on Wednesday, if you trade oil, WTI USD, the OPEC nations are having meetings all day on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have the weekly unemployment claims for the U.S. economy. And then, of course, on very early Thursday morning or late Wednesday night, if you live in Asia, we have the FOMC, which is always a mover and shaker. And then we have the JOLTS job openings later in the evening. So a fully packed high impact news day on Thursday. And then on Friday, the one that everybody waits for, of course, that's the non-farm payrolls, okay, which will be released in the U.S. session on Friday. It's always the first Friday of every month, and that's always a big one. Okay, it's the one that we're all waiting for, and can be a really mover and shaker with both commodities and currencies. So of course, I will share first of all the profit and loss that we had from last week's trade setups. If you remember from last week, as you can see on the screen here, I said to wait for a lower price between 1900 and 1875 on the XAU USD gold. And we saw some sideways movement early in the week. And then, just as I said in last week's video, you can go back and watch that I was expecting to see lower prices towards the end of the week. And that's exactly what happened. Gold hit a low of 1892 on Thursday, and then if you had been nimble and quick and watching your charts, you could have seen the turnaround. These are the 4-hour candles. You could have let this 4-hour candle close, got in on the next candle in the U.S. session on Thursday evening, and then rode that up through the next day to where it closed at 1920 for a total win of about 200 pips. And then let's look at the Euro US and see what happened with that one. All of our pending orders executed during the end of the week, most of them on Thursday, and the Euro US opened on Thursday, went down a little bit in a small loss, and then came shooting back up during the US session on Friday, and we could have got 70 pips out of that trade. The pound New Zealand, as I told you, I've been very, very cautious, very hesitant to take any kind of a trade on the pound New Zealand. because it's at very high prices where it has not been for 3 years, and I'm waiting for a turnaround. I thought we would see this last week, but it would, turned out to be a bear trap. And then it skyrocketed up back to higher prices midweek, and it's now started to come back down again. But just because it's broken this support, which goes back for 4 months, a 4-month bullish run, just because it's broken this support here was a bear trap. This could be another bear trap. I'm still bullish, showing bullish on the day chart and the 4-hour chart. So still no trade on the pound New Zealand, waiting for a clear indication of change in direction so I can take a long-term short trade. The odd US, this was a good one, executed on early in the week, about midweek on Wednesday, and then got into profit on Friday, but it started to drop down during the close of the US session. So we could have got 28 pips out of that one. And I recommend that on Monday morning, you at least move your stop loss above break even. This could, with the volatility that we're expecting to see next week, this could turn and go the other direction, and then you can go into a loss. So protect what you have already made on that trade. And the same with the New Zealand US, which trades very similar to the odd US, as I've said many times. It opened on Wednesday, went into a loss, and then came back up. We did get some profit, a maximum of 20 pips on Friday during the US session. So again, with this one also, move your stop loss above break even and protect what you already have, or go ahead and close out the trade. With the pound US, this was a good one, 95 pips, but also the same. Be sure and move your stop loss up and protect what you have, the profit that you already have, or feel free to close that trade anytime you want. You can always take profit anytime you want. The USD CAD, there was no trade on that. And the Euro CAD, there was no trade on that. And that's pretty obvious. You see, in the beginning of the week, it went down, came back up, went down, came back up. And at the end of the week, closed really at the same price where it started. So that's what we call sideways movement and no clear direction. Very difficult to make any kind of money with a trade like this unless you're really watching the charts all the time and perhaps doing some scalping. But I showed no trade on the Euro CAD last week. Now let's look at the new trade setups that I have, the pending orders that I have in place for this upcoming week starting the 3rd of July, 2023. Remember, as I share my trade setups with you, it's not financial advice. I am not recommending that you take the same trades. I'm not suggesting that you take the same trades. You can if you want to, but it's up to you to manage your own account and to use good risk management. So looking at gold, I have a sell limit. Gold is bearish. All right, what we saw on Thursday and Friday during the US session was simply a pullback. And I expect to see gold continue to drop. We're going to have a very volatile week with the Independence Day in the US and the FOMC on Wednesday, and then the non-farm payrolls on this coming Friday. So I'm expecting to see further low prices. I have already taken one sell trade at 1920, but I have another sell limit between 1920 and 1925 with take profit at 1900, that very strong psychological support level, which we did break below last Thursday, but then came back up above it. And then my second take profit will be at 1880. With the Euro US, I have a buy limit with the entry price at 10855. With the pound New Zealand, I'm not changing my stance on that at all, okay? As you know, if you follow me at all, I'm waiting to get clear indication of what the direction is going to be, all right? We saw previously a bear trap back here. This could be another bear trap. I don't have clear indication that the direction has changed. We're at higher prices than we have been for 3 years with the pound New Zealand. So I'm waiting to see if this is going to give me a bearish signal, and then I will be looking to take a long-term short trade on the pound New Zealand. The odd US, I have a sell limit with the entry price at 0.6685. With the New Zealand US, I have a sell. Now that means sell at market open. When the market opens on Monday morning, sell the New Zealand US. The pound US, I have a buy limit at 1.2670. And the USD CAD, I do have a trade this week with a sell limit. The entry price at 1.3265. And the Euro CAD, I have a buy limit with the entry price at 1.4415. And of course, as I always mention to you, if you're interested in robot trading, which can be a very successful way to have steady, consistent, regular income from the forex market, the robot trading is great because the robot trades without emotions, and it's just a fantastic way to have steady, consistent, regular income from the forex market. So I do have a dedicated website that can give you more information, and that's at prosperityrisingea.com. Okay, thanks again for being here, and I hope you have a great week of trading, and I'll see you again in the next video.